going to go into the realms of positivity. Our energy is at its apogee, actually and factually increasing daily rapidly. Let's go, baby. I love each and every one of you. Let's bring the love. Let's bring the positive energy. Let's just start our day amazing. And if it's wherever you are in the world, morning, night, noon, afternoon, let's bring that love, baby. Shout out to my peoples. Thank you for getting me through all the hard times. It's beautiful, man. On my way to sunny Florida in just 8 days. Can you vibe with me? Can you vibe with me? Can you ride with me? Can you fly with me? Survive with me? Thrive with me? Keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. Let's get that beautiful intro back up and running, baby. This thing is going to blow your mind. Let's go. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for having a beautiful morning with me. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And let's start it off like we do every single day. You know, it's about building a legacy. It's about doing something every single day because you love it, right? It's about just pushing yourself harder than anybody else can push themselves so you can be at the top of your game. I hope you feel that from me. I want to feel it from you. And together, we can change our lives. Let's get inspired. Let's focus. And let's celebrate this beautiful day in which God has given us. Blessings on blessings to be here on this beautiful Saturday morning, 9:29, as we start the live stream. A couple of minutes late there. But it's the weekend, man. Give me a break. Hey, everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Let's jump on into the live stream and see what's happening for Bitcoin. First thing I'm going to look at is BOOKMAP. Link in the description of BOOKMAP. It shows me where whales are hiding their liquidity, so I can see where we're likely going to go to fill orders. Still a lot of orders here at 59, 57,000, suggesting that we still do go lower. However, we saw this at 39, 38, 39,000. We were about a 44, and we would plow all the way to 60K, and this liquidity would not get filled. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It's very rare. It's more rare. It's more likely that it does get filled. We also got this liquidity here and this liquidity here, so it's likely today. We usually go to the closest red areas. The closest red area is 63,275 and 63,000. This suggests we may not get into this higher liquidity, but you never know. We're going to take a look at the charts. We're going to see what they say, but there's definitely liquidity on either side, and it all depends. 63,000 is possible today by the look of what we're seeing on BOOKMAP. All right, BOOKMAP link in the description below. See what the candles are hiding inside of the chart. So normal people see the charts. I see liquidity, and that's what separates us. Look, a trading platform that displays market liquidity. Check what the candlesticks are hiding. All right, get down, figure that out, and I do it every single day, right? So let's break it down. Last night, I talked about a possible move to the upside, right? I actually jumped on in, right? We talked about this possible move out of this little flag here. This thing did blast to the upside, and then this little flag did play out. When I got here, I luckily just, once I was up, I took profits. I didn't really stress where the market was at, and thank God I did, because I would have lost that trade had I not taken profits. So last night I did make a gain, and I actually pushed it up, the leverage up a little higher than I normally do. But remember, I say this all the time. I made the majority of my money DCAing into projects that matter, understanding where the market was going, but it took every single day. You have to be here to feel the trend, to understand what's happening. Like, I wouldn't know about TokenFi, and I wouldn't start getting into TokenFi, right, if I didn't see what was happening in the market. So you get these benefits, and you understand where to go and what to do by being here all the time. Like, there's just this constant benefit of being consistent when it comes to trading. So let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame, break it down for you. Actually, you know what? It's all chopped to me until I square it away, right? But right now, look, at the 1 hour wants to move to the upside. I just want to make that clear. This looks messy to me. I'm going to get rid of everything, and we're just going to talk about what I'm seeing right here, right now on the 1 hour time frame. So previous resistance fell through, came back. Previous support fell through, came back. That was resistance. So you can clearly see 66.5 is going to give us some trouble. And then you know that 65.5, which was the weekly support or resistance where we wick to, where we had a wick to there. And again, and even right here. So we got some local areas that we need to break back above, but we also have some key areas that we have bounced from, right? You can see we're in some type of tight chop here for Bitcoin. That's actually a pretty cool level, because if you look right here, just the previously, you can see resistance, resistance, and we bounce right here. Bit of a double bottom for Bitcoin, right? Almost looks like Hikanashi the way the candles went today. Red, green, red, green. Like if you switch to Hikanashi, right, it would look the same. Very interesting. I don't trade Hikanashi because I'm able to see things on the patterns that make sense to me. All right. But again, it doesn't mean that Hikanashi is wrong. All right. Nothing is wrong in trading as long as you use it consistently. Anything you do consistently is right, in my humble opinion. So, like, whatever you use, whatever you do in trading, as long as you do it consistently, it makes sense. So, look, this is a beautiful double bottom, is it not? Now, they may sweep the liquidity lows. I've seen that. Come out, grab this area before they rip it back to the upside. But 68% of the time, this pattern is supposed to break up to the measured move here, which is the length of the middle here to the section, and bang, we should put that right here. It does say Bitcoin could get to about 65,350 or even test that weekly resistance. We just want to close the candle above 65.5 on the weekly, one step at a time, one little itty bit at a time. That's all that really matters, all right? Bang, bang, bang. Shout out to everybody here. Good morning. I prefer my days off during the week. You're funny. Shout out to Gina Bombina. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here and being a part of the amazing live stream. Not a lot of people here on this Saturday morning. They got a little, I think they were up late, getting a little too halvinged out by the Bitcoin halving. But, there's always opportunity in this market. You're at a point of control, which is very important. You broke above this POC, all right? Very, very key. Now I'm going to slap on the moving averages. Tight moving averages tell a story. They usually tell me that we're going to get some type of move, right, very, very soon. So it does tell me that today, even though it's a Saturday, there is going to be some type of volatility today to the upside or to the downside. I've been showing you guys this kind of, trend. And then if we kind of bring this in here, you almost feel like it lost the trend, broke back inside, and we're making some type of chubby symmetrical triangle, all right? It did almost resemble a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. We had this wacky dip in the middle that I just can't accept, so that ruins market structure. The 1 hour says we're moving to the upside. Stochastics pointing, MACD kind of flattening out, and then falling volume with falling price. If we were able to continue to sell to the downside, right? Boom, 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 boom. Falling volume, falling price. Let's see what Peter Schiff has to say. Interesting guy. Attention Schiff, XRP Bitcoin holders. Key update for Binance. Massive 850K held by ETFs as weekly inflows reach $2.5 billion. So, and that's news. Bitcoin critic Peter Schiff issues warning to Bitcoin holders as halving completes. As the Bitcoin community celebrated the completion of a halving event, renowned Bitcoin critic Peter Schiff took the stage with a warning for Bitcoin holders. The highly anticipated Bitcoin software update called the halving has been completed. The modification went into effect as 8:10 p.m. Friday, New York time, according to the data. This event, which reduced the reward mining for new blocks by half, is seen by many as a bullish signal for the cryptocurrency value. However, Schiff's perspective offers a sobering counterpoint to the prevailing optimism. Let's always listen to the counter argument. You don't want to drink your own Kool-Aid every day. Peter Schiff, a longtime skeptic of Bitcoin advocate for gold, warns that the halving may not necessarily lead to a much expected price increase. He believes that the halving event may ultimately fail to deliver expected gains, resulting in Bitcoin holders experience a halving of their net value, implying a price fall. Congratulations, Bitcoiners, on the halving. Are you guys commemorating this occasion by throwing parties tonight? I haven't been invited to any. I think halving is an appropriate name for what's happening as soon as Bitcoin holders will experience a halving of their net worth. Peter Schiff, April 20th. Let's mark that and hold that, right? Congratulations, Bitcoiners, on the halving. Are you guys commemorating this? Yeah. Bitcoin's performance after the halving remains under debate as Bitcoin enters a new chapter following the completion of its latest halving event. The debate over its future trajectory rages on. Before the halving event, on-chain analytics from Into Block highlighted the trend of Bitcoin price performance following each Bitcoin halving. Meanwhile, Bitcoin whales may have finally begun to buying the dip. On April 18th, the top Bitcoin holder, who owns more than 0.1% of the total supply, added 19,760 Bitcoins to their holding at an average price of $62.5. Historically, accumulations by these addresses have frequently foreshadowed increases in Bitcoin's price. So that's a big deal right there. I like to see that. That's awesome, right? That's something that I definitely want to post to the group, something that we should definitely kind of pay attention to. And that's some key data. When someone buys 19,000 Bitcoin, who's been holding Bitcoin for a long time, they are really, in charge a bit there. As time of writing, Bitcoin was trading down 2.7 in the last 24 hours to 63.78. And again, we don't really read the news. It's just more for fun and entertainment at this point. Peter, we love you, man. Peter's like a guy who's at the racetrack, right? And he's betting on this horse. And this one horse named Bitcoin literally has run around every single horse for 10 years straight. And he still says, you know what? That horse isn't going to make it. And you're like, but the horse done made it already. Like I was talking to someone who's in finance the other day, and I said, why are you so skeptical about Bitcoin? And they're like, it's just so volatile. And I'm like, if Bitcoin and the dollar were in a race and they went around in circles, Bitcoin would have lapped the dollar by thousands of percent by now. I said, that happened in 10 years. I said, what do you think is going to happen in the next 10 years? The dollar's just going to start lapping Bitcoin? It's just going to go the opposite way, even though it gets more popular. There's more currencies that are going to go into default, right? Let's talk about it. And I have history on my side, right? I do. I really do. Even gold represents this idea. But look, Peru, 100,000 intis, right? This is a $1 bill that they had to produce. So they had to put a slap of big value on it because the dollar got so inflated in these countries that the people had to have stacks of money to buy things. So because they had to have stacks of money to buy things, they had to actually make dollar bills that were exorbitantly large, like a Hungary 10 million pengo. Or how about the Germany $1 billion mark, $1 billion mark? Are you kidding me? I think that one takes the cake. Or the Zimbabwe $100 trillion bill. So they've already printed money to zero, to the point of no return. They've proven it to you throughout time. And you think this happens over 100 years and stuff. That's another funny fallacy. Look at this. Hyperinflation is one of the most common precursors to a fiat currency's collapse. Keep in mind, most of these currencies below collapsed within the lifetime of most baby boomers living today. The average lifespan of a fiat currency is about 35 years, my friends. 35 years. Let me say that again. 35 years. They have you in some type of time warp continuum. It's like it's right in front of you, but you can't see it. Even Peter Schiff, if I sat down with him, I would sit him through this and talk about it. And I would talk about how gold kept its value throughout time and how Bitcoin is so similar to gold, it's ridiculous. And I would even give him my story of how I bought gold from his website. I bought gold from Peter Schiff. I have the receipts. He actually sold me milk spotted silver. I'm still pissed about it, Peter. We're gonna have to have a debate about that. Maybe you could give me some clean silver one day. But I bought, 400 ounces of silver, and half of them had those like spots on them. Mike Maloney always gave me clean silver, man. So Peter, I love you, but what was going on with my milk spotted silver, bro? Anyway, let's break it down. Let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame and see what's happening for Bitcoin. So the 15 minutes a little overbought. It would have to get pushed here. There would have to be a bit of a short squeeze. That's a beautiful double bottom if I've ever seen one. That's the definition of a double bottom. Bouncing off the 200 SMA, we never lost it last night. I told you not to short the market unless we lost the 15-2. I said I don't see any reason to short unless we lose 15-200 MA, and we did not. We actually held it pretty nicely. I see him flush up, possibly to 64,000. We do have some liquidity up here. We'd be defying these lower ranges, and maybe they put these last night and fell asleep. Maybe they're going to start switching them back to the upside. You never know what a whale's doing. But 6480, 65,000 does have some liquidity to the upside. There's a chance we see a short squeeze literally in the next 10 to 20 minutes. Every time I come on this live, it seems they short squeeze the market for me. Look, you can already kind of feel this edging up to the upside. Bit of a short squeeze seems to be possibly brewing if we break back above 64,000. Dog is the next ordi. That's interesting. DRC20. You mean Doge is the next. Oh, Doji. Interesting. Ayo, remember the suit talk yesterday? What would you recommend in the 800 to 1K area? What fabric? Honestly, a really nice suit. What I think is really nice suits that are a beautiful suit. Hugo Boss, man. They make beautiful suits. You go to a Macy's, you grab yourself a Hugo Boss, and then you ask them to tailor it for you. For an extra like $100 or $60, they will, you go to Macy's, right? Again, like this suit right here. Look, $895. You can't beat this. You look amazing in this, If you want the three-piece, get the three-piece for $795. Look at this. You will look, this is spot on, all right? And then you'll ask them to just kind of change it up. I mean, you can't beat a Hugo Boss suit. You'll look amazing. You'll feel amazing. It'll be high quality, right? Again, it's not Xenia. It may not be a $2,000 suit, but no one will know the difference. If you walk the walk, you talk the talk, and still you're wearing a $1,000 suit, right? So I'm just saying, I love you. I'm not saying this, maybe not this exact, you might not like this exact style, right? It's a little shortcut there, whatever, but I'm just saying, a Hugo Boss suit, you really can't go wrong. They're tailored nice. They're fit good. 2-button is the way to go. But yeah, and I just thought about it. I'm going to come out with my own custom suit business. I am. I just thought about it tonight. I said, I'm going to figure out how to make these suits myself. I'm going to sit one day it might take me a year as a side project. And look at the short squeeze happening to the upside here for Bitcoin. We are getting the squeeze a little bit here. I should see a liquidation pop in if we can have it, right? We got our liquidation levels right there. Show me the money here on the liquidation for Bitcoin. But nice little pop to the upside as we suggested, all right? Florida is rough on silver in the summer. Got all my heat sealed. Florida is rough on silver. Heat sealed. Interesting. Austrian painter agree. HB makes the best suits. Right. Wow. Yeah. And honestly, I got my suits custom made at WAZIN Tailors. All right. Like, I'll show you. It's a good friend of my family, of my wife. You know what I mean? Where are you? WAZIN. Right here. WAZIN Tailor NYC. This is where I get my suits done. All right. He likes to measure you in person, though, so fly to New York and get it done. But this guy and his dad have been making suits. His dad has been making suits. He came in the business. He makes beautiful suits, man. Unbelievable. I don't know. You can't beat it. So I love what he does. I like what he made. Look at that. That suit would be amazing, right? And he'll make you the three-piece. He'll make you whatever you ask for, right? The suit will be about $1,400 to $1,800 depending, but it will be custom fit. Like, this is a custom-made suit. It hugs this side so nicely. It hugs your arms. You feel stronger, more powerful. There's nothing like a custom suit. But at the same time, I'm telling you, you go to Macy's, you get yourself a Hugo Boss, and you ask them to just tailor it to your liking. They'll fit it nice, and it will look like a custom suit, man. You'll be ready to go for under $1,000, right? Yeah. But see, I want to plug my own brand, so I can't wait to have the Sam Price. I don't know, we'll call it something interesting. But I'm definitely going to come up with my own super brand. And there's the short squeeze to the upside that we talked about. You can see it happening right there. Bang, bang, bang. They just squeezed the shorts, right? Slightly a little bit. So, again, you don't really have the follow-through on the weekend, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get the follow-through. Resistance right here for Bitcoin at 62,242. Low volume on the weekends, especially after a halving event. You know, maybe people aren't too going, wild. Right now, the 7-minute must break back above the 200 to be able to be bullish. So, look for this flag to break out. This could be a nice little scalperino for the day. I think I made that a little too tall. Yeah, somewhere there, and we could push up to that next resistance. I would be watching the 7-minute time frame all the morning to see if we can break back above this 200 SMA on the flag, right? Chance we don't, we come back down and we scribble around and go sideways too. It's a weekend, so remember that. The 1 hour looks absolutely beautiful, though, after resetting nicely, and I see a giant double bottom on the 1 hour flag. So if the 7-minute breaks above the 200, it tells me that we're likely to possibly go to the 200. Now, if you want to be super cautious, you don't trade any of this chop today on the weekend or anything. And the only thing you would trade is if we close a 1 hour candle above this 200. We close a 1 hour candle above this, boom. Let me back test this on you on multiple assets throughout the world. But look, had you opened a trade once this 1 hour candle closed above that 200, and we actually made this trade recently inside of that flag, boom. This made a huge move to the upside, right? Really nice move. How about if you did it here? Really nice move. So the last 2 times, it produced a beautiful pump. If we can get it here, we'd be 3 for 3. And I could take you through all the last 10 or 15 times if you want. Even this one was beautiful. I talked about this one. Once we broke above that 200 on the 1 hour, we were gone, baby, gone. So, and you only got the signal once, twice, 3 times since February 26th. So, you know what I mean? Interesting, right? Yeah, you came up a little bit, but most times resistance, right? A bit of resistance here. Can we break back above this level and make it happen? So I'd be watching the 7-minute in tandem with the 15 and the 1 hour. Those would be the 3 time frames I would have up right now to see what's happening with price action, all right? So there's really not much else to talk about today. That's kind of what I'm focused on throughout the day and the afternoon, and that is your Bitcoin update. Not much else to really break down. I got 3 coins that I believe are worth looking at. Definitely something to have on the radar and something that I'm paying attention to. First coin I like is this math coin. It's got low market cap. It could do damage. I like what it represents, what it could do. All right, I've been watching it closely. I don't own any yet. I'm really speculating on it. I want to see if we can get back above this key resistance here at 52. If we can get back above 52 and start to hold it down, that'd be interesting. It all depends on Bitcoin, though. If Bitcoin doesn't want to play games, or if Bitcoin wants to play games and doesn't want to play ball is what I meant, we'll have an issue. I believe the Boston Bruins start their playoff today against Toronto, right? I could be wrong, but I believe Boston Bruins versus Toronto today in the playoffs. I love my hockey. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Need to know. Round 1, Bruins versus the Maple Leafs, baby. Let's get it in. Let's go, baby. Let's go. But, yeah, I'm excited. We got Marshall. We got a squad. We're ready to go. And I believe we can clean up our act and really get it going here. So I'm excited to see what can happen. And, yeah, man, let's go Bruins, baby. I've been a Bruins fan since I was a kid, man. We got Bobby Orr, Ray Bork, Cam Neely, some of the greats, man. I grew up, just rooting for the Bruins and that black and yellow. So I got to bring that up today. It's something that's big on my heart. I played hockey growing up. I might get back into a hockey league one day. You never know. I'm not done yet. Gearbox, a coin that I wanted to discuss today. We started talking about Gearbox when it was like low here. Started accumulating recently, and then when it came here, made a nice move off that 618. I bought in. Boom to the upside. We made 134% gains off of that move, and I believe Gearbox could do some numbers here. Let's clean up my old work. Let's see what's happening. Gearbox did take a downtrend when Bitcoin kind of fell down, but of all the coins out here, Gearbox was very, very strong. It took this nasty wick down, got brought back up with Bitcoin, and now you see this kind of emerging cup and handle in a way, as this cup has a higher right side, so I call them emerging cup and handles. And I'm going to make a whole new technical analysis book about all the different ways cup and handles can be traded. But look, it's like a slanted emerging cup and handle, sideways movement there. I like what I'm seeing for Gearbox. Now, I own this coin, so I'm putting it on your radar. But again, if nothing happens to it, I'll hold it long term. I'm not really, if you buy it or not, it had nothing to do with me. I believe this thing could do numbers long term. Another gain here, if it does make a move, though, of another like 100% gain. That measured move takes you further up. If you want to grab something, I just hit control. Like if I want another one of these, grab control, and then boom. simplest way to do things, I find, is just to use control a lot instead of duplicate or any stuff like that. Remember when we used to clone, though? And I told you guys never clone alone, right? Man, remember that? That was old. Remember, never clone alone. Who here remembers me saying never clone alone? If you remember that, you were an OG lifer from back in the day, right? Seems like everyone is holding support nicely. Florida versus Boston rematch again, Sammy. You never know, man. In all seriousness, the Leafs are going to get destroyed. Montreal versus Boston. Hey, Sam, I message you through Instagram and email you to respond to your DMs. No, I do not. Yeah. Email. If you email my wife, she will listen, though. Yeah. Early AM in the Los Angeles. We love you out here on the West Coast, man. Wow, you guys are out there. It's 6:49 in the morning. God bless you all for being here. Florida is going to win the cup. Wow. Okay. Hey, you know what? I'd love it if it happened because you know why? I'll get to go and watch one of the games with the Bruins. So let's hope that the Bruins do play Florida so I can maybe go to a game when I'm in Florida. It's the one sad thing. I really wanted to see Celtics playoff basketball. Maybe I'll have to go to Miami to see it. If we play Miami, you never know. But Montreal, man, the Canadians and the Bruins, man, oh my God. Our rivalry goes really far back, all the way to Chris Nyland, who grew up in my hometown, right? I forget how to spell his name. I should know, but I forget. Chris Nyland. Right here, yeah, Chris Nyland. This guy grew up in my hometown of West Roxbury, right? He went to this high school right near me. He ended up playing for the Canadians. They won multiple championships with the Canadians. Nyland returned to Boston area and went into insurance business after retirement. He spent 3 years in community relations, right, at the Hancock Insurance before returning to hockey as a coach. He was initially headed the coach of the New Jersey Devils. He ended up losing his job or doing something silly, man. Right. He was married to Kaylee Stanley. They were divorced. The 2 daughters, Colleen and 1 son, Christian, Teresa Stanley, who was one of the notorious. Wow. Karen was the daughter of Teresa Stanley, who was one of the most notorious crime bosses, Whitey's girlfriend. So it's funny. Nyland married one of Whitey Bulger's girlfriend's daughters. Pretty interesting, right? He now holds his own program, right? And, yeah. He won the Stanley Cup with the Montreal Canadiens in 1986. I believe they beat the Bruins, but he played for the Bruins, the Rangers, and the Canadiens. Anyway, you guys aren't here to hear about Chris Nyland, but the guy's amazing. He was at my house one day cooking. He knows a friend of my dad. One day I'm sitting there. He's sitting there cooking steaks at my house. And he'll hang out with my dad every once in a while on the weekends. And I was like, wait, that's Chris Nyland in my house. Pretty crazy, man. But that's how Boston is, man. We all get around. We know each other. It's a small, tight-knit community, as big of a city as it is. All right. Next time, all-time high 100 to 150 days. Good morning, Sammy. Good morning, chat. Hope all is well. Smash the like button. You're talking about Knuckles. Yeah, they called him Knuckles, dude. He was out of his mind. Oh, yeah. He was one of the toughest, most vicious players. Knuckles Nyland, man. Amen. My dad called him Knuckles. I forgot that for a split second, which I shouldn't have, but it happens. So resistance. Bounce. Gearbox wants to come back to this key support area. Look and see if you have 2 highlighted. You'll grab that. We don't need that, though. But it came back. So what you do is you just hit 1, bring it down. But key support area for Gearbox is sitting at about 2 cents. Nobody really talks about this coin a lot. I really think it could do numbers. Let's kind of break down what Gearbox does, what it is. And again, I was never paid to do this. I like the coin itself. I don't take paid sponsorships. We just don't do it here, okay? The only paid, not from coins. The only paid sponsorships I do talk about here are I Trust Capital and Decrypted.tax. And then my own business. You know what I mean? If you're really focused and highly driven, you should have a business that's doing great. So why promote other people's businesses unless they align with your business? You get it? Most YouTubers' business is to promote anything that comes their way to make gains on the channel because they don't have their really own product, right? I sell my own product. I stand by my own product, my trading group, my courses, and things that I teach. So because of that, I don't have to take all these outside donations. You get what I'm saying? I can stand on my own 2 feet and talk about what I would like to talk about. I don't go coerced to produce or talk about anything that I don't think is good for my community. And my last name is the most important thing to me, Sam Price. My dad always said, never take any money to ruin your last name. And so, you don't want to shill things that you don't have control over because at the end of the day, you don't know what's happening over there, especially with a new coin or project. I get hit up every day. Hey, Lifer, could you promote this on your channel? And I just write, I do not do paid promotions for coins and projects unless maybe I was behind the project myself and I was able to understand a lot more about it. All right. Look at this. There's still a 3 billion Bitcoin short liquidation imminent. So look, there's 3 billions in shorts right there. And this is look, CoinGloss got that too. Interesting. I don't know if CoinGloss did that. CoinGlass, which I actually have a subscription to, but I haven't used a lot as much as I should. Have a good day, my loves. I'm off to work. Have a great day at work on this beautiful Saturday. You've been a sailor, and I should grab a speedboat from Thunder Marine with the logo and write it off for business while you chill at the sandbar. I mean, that's what's going to be happening, right? Because I'm going to say I'm promoting the business on the side, crypto life, right? Have a great day, my loves. I'm off to work. Bless you and bless your family, and I hope everything goes your way, Gina. May the gains be on your favor, and may the sun be on your face, and the wind always be at your back. God bless you. Thank you for always supporting me and being here, Gina. We love you. We appreciate you. All right. So, yeah, previous resistance could get a bounce here. I like what I'm seeing for Gearbox. And I just wanted to look up Gearbox here and give you a bit of a scenario of it. It's got a very small market cap. Token Metrics has even looked at it as a possible 100x. So you have that behind it as well. It's got an Ethereum address. Let's take a look at the website and see what's happening. Gearbox.fi. Module level protocol. Powered by credit account abstraction. Earn passive APY by lending your assets or get up to 10x the margin trade on Uniswap and leverage farm points. Pretty interesting, right? TVL is $399, borrow $228, and there's only 6.2 thousand Gearbox holders. All right. Gearbox protocol uses credit account abstraction to bring together lending and prime brokerage in the same protocol. Lenders deposit assets to earn passive yield, while leverage side users borrow these assets to create spot leverage positions, which can be used across DeFi. I mean, it's pretty interesting to me and, somewhat unique in the DeFi space, and I believe Gearbox could do numbers over time. So I like what I'm seeing for Gearbox, and again, I could speculate on this and it could go to zero. Right? I only put what I was willing to lose inside of this coin. I want to make that very, very clear. But it's a generalized leverage protocol. It allows you to take leverage in one place and then use it across various DeFi protocols and platforms in a composable way. The protocol has two sides to it. Passive liquidity providers who earn APY by providing liquidity, and active traders, farmers, or even other protocols who can borrow these assets to trade or farm with 4+X leverage. Now, that also, I'm more of the passive yield guy, and I may even hold this coin. A lot of these protocols I don't get involved in. I get more on the speculative nature of the protocol. But that's, that's kind of what I do. So that's what Gearbox is. That's what it could be doing. And honestly, that's why it had a pretty nice run up to the upside. This thing has really, really been moving. You can see it's in a beautiful uptrend ever since it really came out in November at almost under half a penny. All right. Let's take a look at DXY and how it ended the day yesterday and kind of see what was happening, all right? So the last time we looked at the DXY, shoulder, head, shoulder, head, shoulder, and we didn't want to see this break the shoulder. We wanted to see it make a right shoulder and dump to the downside, and that market structure was really starting to brew. But next thing you know, we got this big pump above resistance, and the dollar got pretty crazy, and it got a nice pump. Now the 4-hour is kind of somewhat sideways here, all right? Everything okay, my love? Is everything okay? I just thought I heard you say my name. Yeah, I heard Milo, but I'm streaming. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, bounce, and a possible double bottom. So one of my kids was throwing up last night. I could hear something while I was half asleep. I was like, what's going on there? So it's funny. The dollar in a double bottom, similar to Bitcoin, right? It does have some resistance. The 4-hour is kind of in a funny way, but even my indicator is trying to, attempting to tell us that there's a divergence there that could pump us to the upside. Let's take a look at our daily. Our daily's overbought. And, usually a bearish signal, in my opinion, on the stochastics RSI is when both these lines cross the dotted line. That's confirmation of usually a short to the downside. So I see the dollar hitting this resistance point, and I'm going to take this away for now. The daily suggests right now, unless something changes in the smaller time frame, which could change, the 4-hour could get busy here. So that's why I watch the smaller time frames in case they change. But this could come further to the downside, right? Shout out to Armstrong33. Shout out to, can you check out RSS3AI anytime, man, anytime. Yeah, so this key level here, 106.40, right? If this goes further to the downside, we'll have some trouble. Let's look for a fair value gap, and we see it right here. A beautiful fair value gap here for Bitcoin. For DXY, right? And that tells us we're likely going to come into that liquidity zone. What is a fair value gap? It's a key area of fast movement and spread where you don't really, compose the spread, right? Where like we buy in, we go to the next spot, and we don't see that there's a good selection of volume in that area. What that creates is a candle here, wick to the upside, and a candle here. You see, wick to wick. If you draw these wicks together, you'll see you have what's called a fair value gap. This candle and this candle, the one on side of this green candle, should overlap each other, but they don't, all right? Bang, bang, bang. So, price don't, yeah. Lifer came back to the present again. Amen. Amen. Wow, suddenly understand fair value gaps. Yeah, it's not that, it's very simple, right? Yeah. Show a little gratitude with the tap, the like button. Let's go. Shout out to Lakochi Coker in the house. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank you so much for being here with the Lifer. Bless you. I'm making fun of the song. You the man. I don't know what he's saying. Shout out to Armstrong. We love you, man. Is COQ legit? I mean, it's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. All right. Moving forward. See, you have to understand, I studied all of the greats. If you're a good painter, you should study all the great painters. I know almost every system. Like, I know Market Cipher like the back of my hand. Used it for, on and off. Understood it. Back engineered it. Realized how it worked. Right? I use my own system. I use Fibonacci support. I realized that every system, even ICT, depends on momentum. Momentum indicators tell you when the momentum is higher and lower, and they're pretty damn on point. So whether you use ICT, momentum indicators, whatever you do, you're going to be good at whatever you use over and over again. For instance, my 200 MA strategy is just stone cold. I can take someone that's never traded, and I believe if they, they have control over their emotions, but if they just listen to the strategies and play them out over and over again, they could have some amazing things, right? So that's the thing. Like, I understand, one of my great friends is an ICT trader. I've sat with him for hours and hours and hours. I don't trade ICT religiously because I have my own system that has made me money. Once you've made money your own way, it's going to be very hard to go a different way. So once you've convinced yourself that you're able to produce, I take people that have never traded before, they watch my stream, and they're able to produce gains. The elite traders can figure out how to, there's a system I teach that shows you like what's likely going to happen. For instance, when the moving averages get tight, you know that things are going to happen. So look, if we go back to the DXY, and once I saw that the moving averages, look, you can see the moving averages are far apart. You can see they're starting to get tight. Now, everyone says don't use lagging indicators, but my mind can see the indicators beforehand. So I see that the 200 comes up. I see that the 21 might come, right? The 50, they're all going to start to get tight. Then you're going to hear, you're going to really, when the moving averages are tight, a movement is going to happen to the upside. I can already see that they're getting tight because this is what they do. They ebb and flow. They get really tight, then they expand, then they get tight again. Whenever they get tight, a big move is coming. This is very simple. Very, very simple. So it's like, and again, I have years and years and years in the market. So I'm light years ahead of most people. Like, even if you try to understand what I'm saying, it's going to take you a long time to get where I'm at when it comes to trading. Like, it's just not, you're not going to figure this stuff up overnight, right? If it did, then everyone would be me, and they're not. So, there's a reason why I got put on almost all the channels around cryptocurrency. Some of the biggest channels were like, we need to have that guy on. We need to know what's going on. There's a reason why I got recognized around the world. There's a reason why I won the best technical analysis of 2024 in Las Vegas. This isn't a coincidence, all right? There's a reason why thousands of people have written testimonials about my system. There's a reason for this, right? There's a reason for this. So you can fight it all you want. You can say your concepts are better. And again, any concept will work as long as you are consistent with it. I beg you to find another trading group with more testimonials. Because of my consistency, my ability to never take a day off, I've connected to more people around the world than most channels with 60. Most channels haven't put in the work, and they are, because you can get the subscriber count. You can get the subscriber count to 250,000, 100,000, but do you connect with your community on a daily basis, on an intimate level, right? Did your mom and dad die, and did you cry about it in front of everyone? You know what I mean? Like, I've been there, man. You guys have been there for me. Like, I truly can say my community was there for me in the darkest times of my life, right? Because we built something amazing. So I don't need to prove it to anybody. All I need to do is show you the results on a daily basis of the human beings that have changed their life every single day with me. And I continue to push forward every day because there's just no reason to stop. There's just no reason to stop, okay? Some coins are up today, but they're all small caps. You don't see a lot of movement here. Last night, there were some pumps. Shiba was up, right? I think Boom went up a little bit. We're going to take a look at that. Book of Memes. Yeah, I didn't know you won an award on an annual time frame. Best TA, that's awesome. Yeah, I did. The best technical analysis of 2023 in Las Vegas. They kind of looked at all the people that did TA in all of the crypto space, and there were some judges that sat down, and they looked at every single channel. At the end of the day, they said, you know what? This guy is, we've never seen, even multiple times. Anyway, who cares, right? I will continue to do what I do every day to show and prove what we do. That's it. That's it. Right? We will show and prove every single day. But Adam Charles, such a nice guy. He still has to mail me the belt, though. Like, I've been asking him to get the belt. That's why you got to go to these events. Next time, I'm never missing the event so I can get my belt, man. But yeah, if we go to Adam Charles's thing, or somewhere in here, that should have my belt. Trying to see where it could be. I just wanted to show you where it was. Nah, but I don't see it. If I go to Adam Charles's Twitter account, look. I can't wait to get the actual belt and have it on the desk, or you know what I mean? But so crazy. But you go to Adam Charles here. Adam Charles is like behind the scene, dude. He used to work for a lot of the big companies behind Crypto Lifers. Very interesting guy. Knows a lot of people behind the space. The space is controlled by more people than you realize, or influenced by more people. You think it's all the influencers. But there's people behind the influencers that make connections, know people, and get things done. All right? And that's just something that you'll see. Adam Charles was in the ring, right? He was in, this was him. But look, if I just keep scrolling over time, I know we're going to be able to see the awards that he did. I'm going to go all the way and get it done. There's no reason not to. He was at the fight, promoting the fight. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna be, it's Saturday. You guys are like, what is he doing? I got to show you this thing. Oh, wow. Maybe it's just way too far. You can search them too, though. I should have bookmapped it. I'm going to bookmap it now. I'll bookmark it. Here's February. It's coming up. It was like January. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is right here. Let's see. I think I might have missed it. No, let's go. February 22nd. This is when they started the fights. See, the belt looks a lot like that. It's like a wrestling belt. I'm going to find it because I got a bookmark and I'll never remember it. I'll never remember it. Honestly, there's not a lot going on Saturday morning. We're waiting on Bitcoin. All right. So that's why I'm not like, and there's some altcoins we can talk about, but it's not like today isn't like the greatest day since sliced bread. You know what I mean? Merry Christmas, Gypsy fam. That's pretty cool, right? Oh, yeah. So here we are. This is where all the meetings were. Best technical analysis. Crypto Lifer, right? Bang, bang, bang. It was pretty awesome. So he was rapping on stage. There it is right here. Let me bookmark this. I had to find it, right? And he even announced it live on stage. So this is like a beautiful moment in my life. Hold on.
Better of it, so I'm going to mail it to it, but they have a big hand of
he said he was going to mail it to me.
Come here, and then he realized his wife is 18 months pregnant.
18 months.
Better of it, so I'm going to mail it to it, but they have a big round of applause for Crypto Lifer Sam Price.
It's pretty cool, man.
For it to come.
But anyway, I thought that was amazing, right, to get recognized in that way. And this belt, man, has my logo on it. It says my name on it. I just can't wait. It says Alta Trade on the side. I think it's pretty cool, man. Anyway, Lifer, we going to need that belt, bro. Yeah, like Adam, I keep asking Adam for the belt. Adam's like, yeah, I'll mail it to you. I said, dude, I'll pay you to mail it to me. And I love Adam. I don't want to call Adam out. I love you. But Adam, man, I really want the belt, man. It's like dangling a piece of, it's like, oh, you could just, Anyway, be careful with the base memes. 90% already rug. Yeah, for sure. I believe that. Just be careful, man. There's only a few base memes that I would really, really look into. Normie, Brett, like a lot of them just, for sure. So we want to see the DXY come back to this fair value gap. That's very, very important. All right. Let's take a look at one last thing I want to talk about too is Bitcoin dominance. You want to take a look at Bitcoin dominance and see kind of what's brewing here, right? Good morning for New Jersey. Which SMA are you using on your charts? I identify the 200 in yellow. Exactly. I'm using the 200 in yellow mainly. That's like the main one. I use all different ones, though. The 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200. Creates a nice little rib bone. So it's interesting. Bitcoin dominance showing signs inside of some type of flag. Shoulder, head, bit of a right shoulder. Kind of a flag here. Suggesting that Bitcoin is going to do some type of Ripley move to the upside. The 1 hour also says, hey, I want to move. Let's take a look at Tether dominance. If Tether dominance is also bearish, that's going to tell us that money will flow out of Tether into Bitcoin. We may get a pretty nice move to the upside, right? Tether dominance is bearish on the daily. This is a really good sign. Is Bitcoin dominance bearish on the daily? It has come down more and willing to move. So this is a really good sign. Why? Well, we don't want to, because you can kind of tell what the market can do by watching Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance. It's not going to be 100%. But let's explain this to each and every one of you that's out here right now. And we should clip this out, Sean, or anyone watching, Lakochi. You should definitely clip this out. I got the music off for this reason. So you have Bitcoin dominance, all right? You have Bitcoin dominance. And that is how much money is in Bitcoin compared to the rest of the market, all right? Now, when things are bearish, people like to run into Tether, right? Because they're like, oh my gosh, like the market's going to dump. I want to save myself from getting hit. So I'm going to run into Tether. So when the market goes down hard, Tether dominance tends to rise. Agreed? What else tends to rise, though? Bitcoin dominance. Why? Well, there's other people that don't want to be in Tether at all. They'd rather be in Bitcoin, but they don't want to lose the money. Like if they're in Gearbox right now, right, let's just say, and they think the market's going to dump, Gearbox will probably lose 100% of its gains, right? But Bitcoin will probably only lose 5 to 6, maybe even 10%, 15%, like 25% seems to be the worst case. So people run back into Bitcoin as another way to harbor their gains, to save them from getting banged down. So when the market dumps hard, Bitcoin dominance rises, and so does Tether dominance. So, now this is confusing to beginners because I'm gonna show you something else. So understand this concept. When the market dips, Tether dominance goes up with Bitcoin dominance. Very important idea that I want you to understand, okay? This is like a key insight into the market that you really need to know. Now, with that being said, all right, let's X this out. Now, when the market pumps hard, what happens? All right, the opposite happens. X that out. And what happens is Tether dominance dumps, right? Because people don't want to be in Tether. They want to sell their Tether for alts and Bitcoin, right? And what happens? Bitcoin dominance tends to pump, all right? Boom. All right, boom. So this is the scenario you want to see. So before this happens, the Bitcoin stochastics on the daily will start to kind of curve, and the US Tether will start to dump. And so you should see this preemptively before it happens based on the charts, because the charts give us the probability of a move, correct? Okay, so we can figure out when a move is going to happen by watching Bitcoin and Tether dominance in tandem, putting them together. Now, they're not always 100%, but if you backtest this theory, you can see it plays out 80 to 90% of the time, or about, say, 80. It's a pretty strong indicator of the market. This is something I figured out all on my own just by going back and forth. So you could take macro assets, juxtapose them, and you can figure out really where the trickling of money is going to go based on the energetic volume. These are momentum. They're taking you how much energy is coming into the market. That's momentum. If this is telling you there's momentum coming into the Bitcoin move, and then again, once you make a flag outside of a big breakout, you broke out of this ascending triangle and you made a flag. My first mentor, the easiest thing he taught me at the very beginning of trading was, hey, after you break out of a bigger pattern and you make a smaller flag right outside of the trend, there's a very likelihood that flag will pump to the upside. So this is why you want to look at Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance. Tether dominance it has bearish div right here, because that swings up. This swings kind of flat right here, or almost, and then you can see that it's at a resistance. Previous support is resistance. We could actually bring this down a touch. Bounce, resistance. And, I see the moving averages are tight. I get it, but this could kind of get closer. So, it may make a cup and handle and then boom out. But this is telling me that the daily wants to start to dump to the downside. All right. Now, this could actually curve down too, and they could both start to dump, and we could get a market pullback. But if you start to see Bitcoin dominance hold 55, while the US Tether dominance starts to drop down, it's very likely we're going to get a move. And if we get a move that way, what's going to happen? It's going to be a move for Bitcoin. So we can use this key little strategy, and I never see anybody talk about it as much as I do. I'm not the only guy that talks about Tether dominance, but I bring it up way more than most people, and it's part of my trading strategy. We bring it up. We talk about it all the time, right? What do you think about based AI? I think based AI is absolutely amazing. I read through the white paper, and it actually even makes sense to me. Fully homomorphic encryption with the LLMs. Think about it. I did the math, and I thought about it through this, and I'm going to try to break it down in a smaller sense of the way. But right now, you have data sets in AI, right? AI is about sharing data sets at fast rates, right? The faster something understands all the information, the quicker it can make an informative decision or informative data. It can give you more data on that data. For instance, that's what ChatGPT is. We can ask it certain questions, and because it knows so much and the knowledge, it can give us back information, right? But how do you keep that information private while still giving the data set away? And that's kind of a key issue, because no one wants to give away their privacy, but we all want to spread the knowledge. If we can't give privacy and spread knowledge, we're going to have a serious problem moving AI forward. It's actually the dilemma in AI right now, right? So what could solve that? Fully homomorphic encryption, right? That actually solves this problem. It creates a new age ability to share the data while hiding privacy. This is amazing. To me, it's some of the new age thing. It could be the cotton gin. I think based AI could be one of the biggest plays here in the market, in the next few weeks next few months into this bull run based on this idea. All right. It didn't take me long to really start reading the white paper, break it down, and see what was happening here with based AI. So again, I could be wrong, but I'm fully speculating on this idea, and I feel like I got something that's really, and again, even if that's just the selling point here and they don't achieve everything, that's such a speculative idea. And again, it is harder for a lot of people to understand, and they're not going to be able to understand this concept, but it's okay. They're going to come to my channel. I'm going to be able to kind of give them the skinny, and I think this will kind of, get people understanding what's happening. All right. This is why my channel is far more unique. I'm not just a technical analyst. I'm a futurist who speculates on emerging technology. I've been doing it for a long time, and I've been very, 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 very good at it. Way before, Bitcoin was just me speculating on a future dynamic. I did that same thing many, many times before. So to me, that's what I've been in a data set system where I look where the future is, and I start to speculate on that. I'm not always right, but I've been pretty spot on. Like, one was very simple. Marijuana was going to be legalized, and you're going to see that it was going to get legal. So the companies that were investing in marijuana were likely going to go up pretty big. So I got into Canopy Grow Corp before marijuana got legalized, knowing, and now if maybe marijuana wouldn't get legalized, and maybe my speculation was incorrect, but I was pretty spot on that idea, and that's exactly what happened. So, and again, that's just a very simple form of what I do, but I've done it many times. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice at all. I may not, one day I may speculate on the complete wrong thing. Here's one of my speculations that didn't go so well. I saw the company GEVO, which flew on Alaskan corn oil. I thought that was huge, and I thought I had found a key gem, and again, one of my future speculations. Planes will fly on corn oil soon, and this is going to be a big deal. They were the first ones to start doing it. They were producing ethanol from the corn in these big basins. However, it was harder and harder to produce. It didn't seem well. Now, Alaskan Airlines flew a test flight on corn oil. You can look, Alaskan Airlines flies on corn oil, GEVO, right? The company was GEVO. Now, on GEVO, when this came out, right, in 2016, I thought I was a genius, right? So look, Alaskan Airlines flies on GEVO renewable energy alcohol, jet fuel. The skies are a little greener today after 2 Alaskan Airlines departed Emerald City fueled by the first alcohol to jet fueled ATJ made sustainable. 2 Alaskan Airlines flights flied. So I thought I had GEVO in the bank, man. And I put about, I put a pretty penny in there, 15,000. It would go down to $6 grand, $7 grand. Then they would start diluting the stock. And this is where I learned about stock dilution. This thing is probably in the dumps now. I haven't looked at it since, but this thing is probably in the dumps completely. So let me show you what I'm talking about here, right? All right. Like GEVO, right? GEVO Inc. on the NASDAQ. So, I mean, again, they ran it to the ground even recently, back to below $1. This thing is, to me, is a scam coin. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? It might as well be a scam. Like, I don't want to say that, but like, look at this thing. It just never did what it was supposed to do. They kept diluting. They shouldn't be able to do this, but like, you know what I mean? Look how much value this thing has lost over time. Anyway, I got sucked into it. I lost some gains on that, and it wasn't amazing. I already told you my Bitcoin strategy in the first 10 minutes of the stream. I highly advise you to go back and watch that. We've already gone over Bitcoin in depth and kind of got over everything that I see. I'm giving you more insight now, way beyond the knowledge of just Bitcoin, expanding your ideas, expanding your thought process, and getting you on another level of higher frequency of knowledge and understanding. I mean, there's no reason to waste time here and play games. Would you trade a token when the owner owns 40%? No, never. That's super, super horrible. If you want to check stuff like, go to Token Sniffer. I don't know the company like that. It's not a big deal, but I would check out Token Sniffer and see what's going on there. This is my new kitchen. I can't wait to be there. I'm going to shoot a bunch of videos from that kitchen. It's going to be a blast. So I can't wait to shoot from that kitchen, man. I'm excited. You should be excited. Life is always full of opportunities. There's so much coming our way that could change the way we think, move forward, and just, believe in ourselves, man. But Token Sniffer is amazing. I absolutely love it. I just got to clean up some windows here and see what's happening. Excellent. All right. I thought I flashed something that I didn't want to, but you know what? It was completely fine. I'm relieved. You know what I mean? Being a known person and like
100 million. I
possibly hitting the wrong button is never a good idea. Sometimes the early bird gets the hammer. Wasn't that from a magazine for Factory Direct? No, that's my kitchen, man. You're going to see me living there, like, so you don't have to actually play games. That's actually my kitchen. Like, yeah, I've paid for it already. I just have to get there. All right. This was an amazing interview. I highly advise you go and subscribe to Timothy Schultz. Jump on in, hit the bell for notifications, like it, and share this video, man. He interviews people that manifest millions into their lives, and he felt like I was someone worth bringing in with the cryptocurrency. You know, and it's good for his channel. If you think about it, Bitcoin getting bigger, he wanted to reach out and get that Bitcoin audience. I think that was a really smart move by Timothy. He reached out to me. We felt it was a mutual connection to have. With his 87,000 subscribers, I'd like to see this get to 100K and more. So, yeah, this guy's doing it, and his interviews are amazing. He really got to the depth of me. He asked me a lot of poignant questions. If you want to know more about me, you know what I mean? It talks about my net worth. It talks about, you know, how I run different businesses. It talks about so many different ideas that you don't always hear about. I usually don't tell people any of the things I said in this interview. I really don't. Sometimes I don't want to tell people because I feel like it's bragging, so I don't say any word. But he asked me some poignant questions. I answered them. And if you want to know more about me, you want to find out more about what makes me tick, I highly advise you jump on in and watch this interview. It'll blow your mind, all right? And give this guy a like, hit him up, subscribe to his channel, and read more about what he has to say. I mean, he's a really awesome person. I'm really happy I got connected with him. And Timothy, if you're out there, man, I love you, and I appreciate you. Let's get this music back up and running. Let's get back into the sauce here. But I hope I gave you enough information today to propel you into the future, to get yourself going, so you can feel that, you know, that sense of confidence and self-worth, man, to know that you're worth it. You're here to change this world in a big way. God wants you to change this world in a big way. God believes in you. I believe in you. Everybody here is a beautiful piece of God. Every single one of you is a beautiful piece of God. So I'm going to go to another chart right now. Right? I'm going to duplicate this. Thank you so much, Sam. Anytime, man. I love you, brother. I just watched it. It was really good. Thank you so much for saying that. Blessings on blessings to be alive, right? And like, I'm going to go to the MEXC chart here, and I'm going to show you something that I see on the daily that's very, very interesting to me. Maybe not to you, but to me, all right? So this, to me, is starting to make what looks more like a bullish flag, right? It's just a bull flag. That's all it is. Starting to make a bull flag here for Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised. We might go up, go down, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is it here for Bitcoin. Like, we don't really go much lower than maybe this chop here. There's a lot of supportive resistance right there. Like, look, there's a lot of chop there from years ago, too. We're talking 2021 chop. So if you go here, you got 53,000. But if you go right there, you're kind of right at this base point. Look, stop. Those are the two shoulder points of that big rally, right? Shoulder, a little of a push up there, but those are the two shoulder points of the rally. Let me show the candles. One guy's complaining, I can't see your candles. Show me the candles. He can see the candles now, can't he? But look at that big resistance there. That's kind of where we're hanging. 59.5. I think there's a big reason why we came to that area. We bounced off at 2 here, and then resistance. Previous resistance will be support, and we've hit that many times. So it does make sense that that was a key area to bounce from, all right? It's 100%. All this makes 100% sense. Then we get the bullish pin bar, which I told you all last night, and we talked about. Very bullish. If the daily can, this says that the daily here is supposed to go to the upside. This bullish pin bar, but we want to see how this ends up closing. But this bullish pin bar is saying, hey, our next candle should be a nice green candle on the daily, right? So this tells me we're in a bit of a bull flag, and this bull flag wants to break to the upside, right? Wouldn't surprise me if this is the case here. We go to 103,000 by the end of May. This would be a big deal. Imagine I move into my new house, everything starts going well, and then Bitcoin rips to the upside. Funny, I was listening to an astrologer yesterday, and again, I take it all with a grain of salt, but they were like, Aries, the year of 2024, your investments are going to go very well. It's going to be a big year for Aries, It's like, of course it is. Like, it has to be. Why would you tell me anything different? But, this is a risk to reward ratio of 5 to 1. Right? If we lose, we lose. It goes to 53,000. But if it stays above 60K, we never even go to 53. This could be one of the most gorgeous trades on earth. So this is definitely something I see brewing. It's possible. And what I would love to see is this, all right? And I've seen this happen many times. Bitcoin comes up, comes down, comes up. In that time frame, we get to 21, and then all the moving averages get tight. And at this point, we get tight moving averages. And if we get tight moving averages after this rally, sideways consolidation, we're likely going to push back to the upside, right? I'm not saying this is guaranteed, but this is something that's starting to brew here for Bitcoin, all right? So I definitely, I'm not shying away from this. I actually, and look, this would be a Sammy cup and handy with just a shallow handle. And the 200 isn't that far away, so it tells me that this may happen. Now, what would end this whole fiasco for me, or what would make this a fiasco, is if we eventually get, really rejected here by this 8-hour 200 SMA. You see, I've been stuck on this one thing, right, over and over again for 5 days now. I've focused now on the 8-hour time frame and the 8-hour 200 because I know it's the gateway to kind of what could become something bigger. I've backtested this many, many times in my life. And so now you have a falling wedge that, in my opinion, did break to the upside. You did break out of the resistance. Clear as day. Let's kind of make this clear to everybody, because if you went up here, you only have 2 hits. I say the most hits makes the pattern more legit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get more hits in succession if you make this the pattern than if you make this the pattern. So everyone else says, well, what's the pattern then? And so I eventually one day had to decide how I was going to determine which pattern I decided to choose. And so I said, I always have this funny saying, if there's 5 kids in the car and 3 want burgers and 2 want pizza, you got to eat pizza, right? You can't, if one is the deciding factor, that's the majority. Same thing here. If there's 1, 2, 3 touches, but here there's only 2 touches, I got to take the ones with the most touches, all right? Very important. And so this is the key area that we're seeing here, And so I really want to see the 8-hour closed candles above this 200. I want to see us get above the point of control. All right, that we are at a resistance here at 64,600, 693, 64.8 even with the wicks. So I want to see us break back above 64,800, and then you can see right here 65,500 is that, right there, 420. I like it. If you go to the weekly, it's 65.5, right? We may gotta take all the buyers of 52K and go all the way back to 45. We might. I love how you say we might. You don't know. See, the thing is about this all, everybody, is we'll lose this 200. We'll come here. Then I know exactly we'll lose the 10-hour 200. We'll lose the 12-hour 200. When we lose the 12-hour 200, I'll start talking about going to 53, and then we'll start talking about 46,000. But I don't think you should speculate too fast unless we break this key level, right? We have wicked here. We have wicked here. So Bitcoin must close a candle below, a weekly candle really, below 60,000 in order for us to begin to believe we are going to 50,000, right? Now, I've been saying for a long time that 52,000 is possibly the case. If you haven't watched me in a while, I've been saying this since around here or here. Ever since I could draw the fib, I've been showing you the 618 and the gap of the VRVP, all right? Also, when you lose a high-volume node, you're very likely to come here. This bounce was really strange. Why? Well, we trade this all the time with the volume profile. And if this is the volume profile on the right side, and you can see that we lost this chunky area, usually you definitely come down to at least this area to hold and then dock down to the bigger area here at 43,000. The fact that we got a bounce here, even though we were inside the void, is very interesting to me. If we hold this node again, see how big that node is, there's a chance we gap through there, and then we kind of start to, basically climb our way back up. So I'm open-minded to what you said about us going to 42,000. Definitely could possibly happen, all right? Sam, I've been finding it easier to draw my trend lines on the line chart than flip back to candles. Interesting. Hey, man, that's what you do. As long as you find something that works for you, that's key. And what he's talking about is, I believe he's going here to the line chart, right? And he's just looking at Bitcoin on the line. 100%, right? Hey, that's also kind of makes it, nice and easy for you just to look at, right? I agree with that, right? Then you have volume candles too, all right? Or they're in beta, so it didn't come up yet. Other people trade with volume candles. What does that mean? Well, it shows you where the volume is. If one candle has more volume than the last 10 candles, it'll be like green or purple. You know what I mean? It can help you a little bit. I said that we little dip. Who bought then is happy. When I turn on minor price, always a little higher. Sam, I've been finding it easier to, boom, boom, boom. 420. I thought memes would pump. 3 times the last week we dumped under 60K. Amen. So this is just a bigger idea for Bitcoin here. Starting to look like a bull flag to me. You tell me, but it just starts to look like a big, beautiful, consolidated bull flag for BTC. Again, I'll change my tune immediately if we lose this level. It's not a bull flag anymore. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do go to $51,000, $53,000. It's a very high likely scenario. But let's take it one step at a time, one day at a time. I'll be back tonight to kind of go over a lot of these key concepts. Another thing that I showed you guys and I've talked about that I haven't seen anyone else kind of speculate on, and again, they shouldn't because my brain's unique and we all are so unique. We all shouldn't have the same analysis. But I see a bit of a shoulder, a head, and a bit of a right shoulder. We could make 2 more of those. This could kind of make something like this, and we could get a big move to the upside out of an complex inverted head and shoulder. So these are some concepts that could play out over time. If we ever lose this 12-hour 200, That's going to be really bearish for me. And then 41, 43,000, and the daily 200 would start to make sense, right? So I'd like this to go up, consolidate for literally, what we can do is you can hit shift here once you're in the plus sign, and this will show us the time. So look, 30 days of sideways price action would be awesome from 420 to May 20th. And then really late May tends to be a pretty cool month for Bitcoin. So, only time will tell. But, yeah, I like what we're seeing here so far for BTC holding 63,800. Let's get back into the smaller time frame like I am. And I'm just watching this double bottom on the 1 hour time frame. All right. And again, if you can't get back above that 200, expect more downside. We really need to break back above this yellow line here, the 200 MA for BTC. The 15-minute says you're about to dump on us hard, right? So not what you want to see. And what will happen is the 15-minute will lose its 200. You'll see price action go here, and then boom. The stochastics RSI says this is going to happen unless the 7-minute is oversold and wants to bounce, which it may. So look for the 7-minute to double bottom and curve. That could keep us in the pattern. And then look for the 7-minute to break the 200. So as I told you, if the 7-minute breaks the 200 and the 15-minute holds the 200, it's very likely the 1 hour will break the 200. And if that happens, it's very likely we go up to 69,300. So I'm starting to see the brewing process for a move to the upside. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I'm starting to see it from my years of looking at this stuff. Now, when I see 64.6, key area there, and I see 65,000, a lot of liquidity to the upside there as well. So only time will tell. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. We appreciate you. We love you. We care about you. I can't believe we have 1,478 beautiful souls here on this live stream on a Saturday morning that I just jumped in earlier than I normally do, too. Why do I do these morning? And 1,500 people. I spoke about everybody now. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. 1,000 likes would be awesome at least here. Let's do it. Only a third of you are hitting that like button. And again, I watched the channel once of someone I really liked, and I just forgot to hit the like button. It's happened to me, so I'm sure it's happened to you right now. I'm going to go on that nice idea that you just forgot. And it's right there in front of you. Also, turn your phone to the side and hit the like button because it's harder to do it, right? So turn your phone to the side, hit that like button, flip it back up, keep watching the channel. You're good to go. All right. So, yeah, I'm watching this key area here, some support of resistance. And so once we lose the 7-minute, we will drop. That 200 is going to be crucial, and the 15-minute is crucial. All right. But I'm showing you some signs that we may be able to get a move here earlier today back to the top of the channel. Also, when you go to the top of the range, bottom of the range, you're likely just to come to the top of the range. Let me take a small VRVP setting here and see what's happening on just like the local area. And it's funny, that's really small, but it does suggest you could go back to this blue area, right? If you get above the POC, the point of control. And then you want to take a bigger data set for this asset, for this indicator. So you can see something else here. And we're just going to take a data set on this entire flag, right? And it's sideways, how much price action you get. And you can see, like, we went to the value area lows. You're likely to come back to the blue line. Every time you touch the blue, you came back to the other blue. Touch the blue, back to the other blue. You may dip a little bit. This is what's called the discount, right? You're in discount right now, right? This would be premium. So you want to get back into premium and out of discount, right? Again, we should see a fair value gap somewhere on the 4-hour time frame that propel us to the liquidity. Let's take a look if that's what's happening. And oh my goodness, look at the size of that fair value gap right there. It's almost double time. Let me get rid of the moving averages and really look at this with you so you can understand these concepts. But I mean, that's huge. It's one of the biggest fair value gaps you can see. And that's exactly what we wanted to see whenever you're at discount. So look, there's a big fair value gap there. There's a pretty nice one right about here, right? We dipped into it a little bit. You see, we did dive into that liquidity. But wow, and again, I tell you, I don't even use ICT concepts. Why? Because the VRVP shows me the exact gaps in the fair value. Like there's the fair value gap right there. There's the fair value gap right there. When the candle closed, it didn't touch. That was this liquidity and this liquidity. You get it? This was the spread. So you don't have to, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion. I'm not an ICT guy, so I'm not even going to talk on it. But I just use the gaps in the VRVP. Like this was a perfect short down to here because you had the gap. All right. This tells me that we have fair value gaps. You can see the gaps in the VRVP. That's why I love the VRVP. People call it the VPVR, but when I looked it up, it's the VRVP, the Visible Range Volume Profile. Yours might not look like mine. Why? Because you get it default with inputs of 24. And so yours is going to look all chubby like this. You're not going to see the gaps. You're not going to be able to trade as well as me. Why? You need to delineate that, man. Bring it back down. Add a 0 here It's going to change the way you trade for the rest of your life. I'm telling you right now, that little key that I just gave you, blow your mind, right? Blow your mind. Shout out to the 1,734 people here on the live stream. Shout out to the Google algorithm. Shout out to YouTube, man. YouTube, I love y'all. You really started holding me down. You really started helping me out. You really started promoting me on a mass level, and I really, really appreciate it, man. It took a long time for us to get that marriage going, but now that we do, I'm super happy that it's going, and, you know, that algorithm is pumping, man, and it's definitely putting me in the related searches, the browse searches, and again, they like consistency. They like to sell ads, and they like people that are always on, right? So when you're always on, you feed that algorithm what it wants. The algorithm likes you. And so everyone thinks that you get lucky, you get viral. And again, there's going to be some viral moments in my life. I just need to get on the right channel at the right time with the right interviews, and it's going to happen to me. I know it. I'm very close to some big breakthrough where I can boom. You know, if I get on the right channel, I can get 100,000 subscribers overnight. It could happen. So I'm on my way, man. I'm on my way. But look at this beautiful gap of the VRVP here. Also suggests that we could get a nice move further to the upside, right? So we got some fair value gaps that need to be filled, specifically this one. We got a nice movement, and we're on previous support as resistance here, right? Resistance, support. So it does show signs of life here. 63,000, about 800 holding for Bitcoin. So a lot of cool insight here. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a move further to the upside. Look, a shoulder ahead, a right shoulder. We're retesting the neckline. I've seen that many, many times in my life. Would I trade today? It is a Saturday. If I see the 7-minute kind of give me that confirmation of a move above its 200 MA, then I will be excited to possibly maybe take a trade. But it is Saturday. I got a lot going on. My movers come, the movers come on Sunday tomorrow. So it's going to be a pretty big deal. So with that being said, you know, I got a lot on my plate, right? The next 8 days are going to be very hectic for me. I might even have to start breaking down my big studio right now, because it's just something that I got to do. So as crazy as it is, man, my life is going to change. I'm going to be in the charts. I got my elites. Don't worry. And I'm always going to be going over Bitcoin when I can. I'm going to have my travel set up here for 8 days, and then I'm going to travel. All right. So they're coming tomorrow. I figured today would be great. So by tonight, I should be on a travel setup by tonight. All right. That's kind of the plan and the hope and the dream. I hope I get that done. I got a lot on my plate. It's a lot. And I just can't think about it or I'll get overwhelmed. I just got to go one step at a time, one day at a time. But I'm moving across the country, basically. I mean, moving from Boston all the way down to Florida, one of the bigger moves you can make in the United States, right? Unless you go all the way to like the corner of like Arizona, right? So yeah, it's not easy. You know what I mean? And yeah. But anyway, I love you all. I appreciate you. Let me take a look at the chat. Any fan funding here? Anyone that kind of threw down wants to show up and show some love? Let me call you out and talk about it. So we got Ernest Lee, member for 7 months. Good morning, Sam. Some great TA there. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Decrypted.tax, member for 1 month. And everyone, if you want to get your taxes done, or maybe you need to get just a question about the taxes you did do. Maybe you feel uncomfortable with who did your taxes. It just didn't sit right. And you want a second opinion. I'd go to decrypted.tax, right? Right there below me. You can see it, decrypted.tax. Make it super simple and easy. Jump on in today. Get 25% off the standard pricing and earn that free consultation by just being a lifer. Ask the questions that you need from someone that's honest and beautiful. My man, Ernest Lee, man. Tax attorney at your service, waiting for you, all right? So just wanted to say thanks for the great alpha and information you provide, Sammy. I love the positive vibes always. Glad I found your channel. I'm not a trader, but a supporter. I love that, man. And you know what? I like that there's people here giving super chats, supporting the channel, just on the fact of who I am alone. And that's the hope, man. Thanks for the shout out. Safe travels, Sammy. Well, we're not moving till the 28th, but you know what I mean? Tomorrow the movers do come and clear my house out. And then I'm going to be sleeping on like mats and having nothing. It's going to be really weird for like 8 days. And then when I get there, I hope everything's there. I've never done this. I've never done a big move like this. So we'll see what happens. Most people don't do it because it's daunting. The move is just out of control, right? Thank you so much for the $99 super chat. You didn't have to do that. God bless you, Decrypted.tax, man. And I hope you had a wonderful time doing taxes this year. I hope you met, I know it's hard work, but I hope you met some people. I hope, and I saw someone in my trading group get really excited about what you did for them. They were shouting your name in my trading group, like, Ernest Lee just saved me so much. He did this for me. So, you know how happy that made me? That personal connection we made through business was helping other people in life. And so not only did we both get to make ends meet, our businesses thrived, we worked together, and we helped other people, man. So thank you, man, for being an honest, amazing person. Because without honesty and people that care about integrity, I can't do business with people, right? And so I love that I took a shot with you. I love that you took a shot with me. And let this keep continue to roll, man. I really appreciate it. Got an idea for the channel. Once you settle here in Florida, do a vlog channel. I'm thinking a day with the lifer. You know, man, I was vlogging for years, man. I have another YouTube channel where I was vlogging. Maybe I'll pick back up on my old channel. Who knows? But blessings on blessings, man. You don't even know. I have all the stuff. I have the GoPros, the cameras. I have it all. I have the drones. I was doing this stuff for a long, long time. All right. But thank you, Joel. And if you want to join in and you're from Florida, man, by all means, let's get the camera. Let's go. I need someone to follow me around every day and just follow what happens and then edit it into something amazing. So, yeah, I'll have a little camera crew with me. We'll do some fun stuff, man. And I'll take you all over Florida. I'll show you my adventures. We'll have an absolute blast. I do have a Sam Price channel I'd like you guys to jump on into. Let's take a look here on YouTube.
Whole days drinking. I bet.
At Sam Ewell James Price, right? Should come up in there. If you want to subscribe, please do. I only have one interview there. We're just getting started. But I really want to get us to 1,000 subscribers. That would be awesome. I could start live streaming. I don't think I can live stream for this channel yet. You have to get like a certain amount of things going on, but please subscribe. Hit the bell for notification so you can find out when I post my next video. And this is where I'm going to be talking about different things like real estate, just all sorts of different things that I do that'll kind of bring you into another level. So, you should watch this too. Life-changing interview with Gary Cardone, man. He really changed my life on this interview. It was a big deal for me, and I had a really good time. First time I really met Gary, and then we slowly, forged a great relationship. So, check this out, right, at Samuel James Price, 500 subscribers. I'd love it to see the subscribers. The subscribership should be going up right now. No one's subscribing right now? What's going on? I didn't see this number change. Hold on. This should be at least 520 by now. Okay, all right, 2 of you. I'd like to see more of you do that. There's going to be a lot of insight here. I'm telling you, if you think you got a lot of insight out of my technical analysis, wait till the type of insight you get out of what I'm showing you here. All right. And I think I'm done for the day, man. I'm out for the night. 1,442 people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Why do I do the Saturday morning stream? Well, I started doing updates every single day for my trading group. One day, it was in the summer, I decided to put up the update without my face on the YouTube channel. And I thought it did pretty good. People were like, wow, that's cool. And then I said, you know what I'll do is, if you're in my Patreon, you get 5 morning updates and 5 nightly updates every single week, right? I go over Bitcoin before I go to bed and when I go to sleep and right when I wake up every single day to give you the insight that I possibly see for what's happening. Like this beautiful flag that's about to break out possibly on the 7-minute time frame, right? So, the point of that is, one day I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do the weekly update, or the morning update on Saturday for everybody so they could see what you would get in the trading group. So it became like an ad. Then it became a show, and then it continued to grow. So it's funny. Why do we just lose so many viewers? Anyway, who cares? I guess people got to go. But I love you all. I appreciate you, and I care about you. I gave you everything I could for Bitcoin today, all right, and a lot of other insights and ideas. If this makes you happy, come back for more. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. May God bless you, and may you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for coming. Shout out to all the beautiful people. 644 likes, $129 in chat revenue, and almost 1,700 people here on a Saturday morning. God bless you all. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next live stream. I'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. Blessings on blessings.